All right. Hello, 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 hello. Let's check and see if we are live here. Let me go on our Facebook page. Anybody out there? Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. If you're out there, we are live. We are live. Yes, we are live. We are live.
Yay.
Hello, hello,
Yay.
hello, everyone. Hello. We will give everyone a moment to come in, but we got some conversations for you today. We have on our platform the incomparable, the one and only. Let's see, she got a whole lot of titles, but we'll start off with what I know you as best. President, founder, number one, the general of Gamma Pyro Lupus Sorority Incorporated.
Right, right.
And she is also the executive director of Colors of Lupus Nevada. So she holds many titles, many places. We could go on and on and on with just what she does. But today we are going to focus on this particular topic that is very near and dear to all lupus warriors who are battling not only lupus, but almost every other autoimmune disease that is available for us to get. Because we all know that we are not just lupus, we are rheumatoid arthritis, we
Yeah,
are,
so many different things.
yeah, Sjogren's and fibromyalgia. I mean,
Scleroderma, and yeah, you know, we can just go on and on and on. We have overlapping diseases and illnesses, so it's not just one. And there's things out there that are just popping up, and that I'm learning that I thought I knew, you know, all the autoimmune diseases, but no, you know, there's things that I don't know. And so it's always, you know, they say you learn something new every day, and
mhm.
definitely I have learned a bunch of stuff over the last month.
Well, that's why we're here today. This is why we're here today. So, what we're going to discuss is a topic called "What does it mean to put you first when it comes to your health?" And this discussion will cover many topics in itself. So, without further ado, Madam President, Sora, the General, Autumn Austin, my friend, and Superwoman Warrior.
Not at all.
You're still standing, baby. You still standing, and you showing us that it can be done. Just continue to, stay the course, and listen to your body, which you don't do. But that's another show. That's
You
another.
know, it's crazy. I'm being forced to listen to my body. To be honest with you, I have no choice right now. This is you know, I keep telling everybody this is the sickest I have ever been. In the last, it's going on 2 years now. It started 2 years ago, May of 2022. Sickest I've ever been. The longest I've ever been sick. I am very, very vulnerable right now. I won't even lie to you. It has made me, I don't have a choice. It has made me sit down. And I won't lie to you, this show may be very, very emotional, just because the topic in itself, just because I am being transparent, just because I am being vulnerable. Um, but this disease, yeah, I just posted the other day. It is not for the weak. It is not for the faint at heart, um, because I can't do anything. I literally have been telling, you know, I've shared with a couple people. I haven't left the confines of my home for the last 2 weeks, unless I've had to go to a doctor's appointment. Um, for the most part, I have been in my room for the last 2 weeks because I can't do anything. I go to the bathroom, I'm tired, so I go back to bed. I take a shower, I'm tired, I go back to bed. I sit up for 30 minutes and get on the computer, I'm exhausted and I'm back in bed. So it literally has wiped me out, and I have never felt this way for the last 11 years that I have been diagnosed with lupus. I I've never felt this way, even when I thought I was my sickest. Back in September of 2022, when I was on oxygen and using a walker, um, I was still able to get up and go to work and function, and right now I'm just not functioning.
You are functioning, you're just not functioning at your highest level.
Yeah, let me say, I am I'm functioning to the point where, yes, every day I am still waking up every day by God's grace, and my eyes are opening. But you are absolutely right, Chandra. I am not functioning to the level of my expectations, to the level of everybody else's expectations. It's even draining just to answer a text message or get on the phone. I'm a talker. I like to interact with people, but I just I don't like to say I don't want to be bothered or that I'm ignoring people. But even just the interaction is a lot for me.
I can't imagine that. It just sounds exhausting, and just knowing how extremely depleted we feel with just our normal day to day with lupus, to even have even more of this head in the sand because I can't move any part of my body. I can't imagine what you're going through, but I so applaud you for taking time to be with us today and sharing your story. Kertisha says, "Thank you, Madam President, for sharing." And Patricia says, "Prayers for you, Madam P."
Thank you guys so much for just tuning in, and hopefully you guys can share this. I want to dive into the things that I've been dealing with since like I said, I since what December, I want to say I haven't been feeling myself. I got a new rheumatologist in January, and so I want to share some of the things that he brought to light for me, and that way you guys can start going out to your rheumatologist and asking questions, because I wouldn't have fathomed to even ask the things that have been brought to my attention.
Please share and educate us.
So I got diagnosed with lupus in 2012. Santa brought me lupus for Christmas. I always tell the story that I got diagnosed Christmas Eve of 2012. After 3 years of being given the runaround, so I started having signs and symptoms of lupus in 2009, but I didn't get the official diagnosis until 2012. And I've had the same rheumatologist. Well, I got diagnosed in 2012 and had one rheumatologist. And then in 2013, within 3 months, I got a second rheumatologist. So I've had that same rheumatologist up until 2023. And um, I won't mention any names, but I've had that same rheumatologist, and I was loyal to him. And he decided that he no longer wanted me to be his patient. So he released me from being his patient in 2023, and I had to go searching for a new patient. A new rheumatologist, and with the help of um, a good friend of mine, and I won't. I'll just say he's one of our drug reps. One of our drug companies. He works for them, and I was asking him, you know, who do you recommend? Do you recommend any specific doctor that I should go see in this world of the shortage of rheumatologists here in Las Vegas? So he told me that there was a new rheumatologist here in Las Vegas. He was considered a quote unquote lupologist, which means he is very thorough, very knowledgeable in the world of lupus. And he had moved here from Alabama. So I was like, oh, that struck my interest. And so I started doing some some research on him, and the doctor that he referred me to was Dr. Wynn Chatham. Dr. Chatham is from Alabama. He is now the head of rheumatology for UNLV School of Medicine. And like I said, he is considered a lupologist. So I finally, he didn't have like a real long waiting list like most rheumatologists here have, a 6 to 9
Right.
to 9 month to year long waiting list. I called him in December, beginning of December, and I had an appointment scheduled for the end of January. So I went to visit him, and actually I was very impressed because my appointment was January, scheduled originally for January 31st. Their office called me and said, "Hey, Dr. Chatham had an unexpected a schedule adjustment. We need to move you from the 31st to the 22nd. Are you okay with that?" Who isn't okay with moving up their appointment, you know?
Right. Right.
So they moved up my appointment to the 22nd. The weekend before, he personally texted me from his personal cell phone and said, "I love him too, Deidre. I absolutely love him." Um, so he texted me from his personal cell phone, and he said, "Hey, I have a scheduling conflict. I have a meeting I have to attend. Your appointment is at 10 o'clock in the morning. Can I move you to 12 or 12:15 or 2:15?" And I had to work, so I was like, can you move me to 12:15?" And so he moved me to 12:15, and I went and saw him. And when I tell you the things that um, he asked me when I went to see him, he was so thorough on the questioning, and he asked me, the type of treatment I've had, what type of treatment I was on, what type of treatment that they have tried. So I told him that at one point, I've been on Benlysta, and then I went from Benlysta to Safnello. And Safnello, while I was on Safnello, I was going on my fourth treatment, and I contracted shingles. And so he was like, "Did you not get the shingles vaccine before you went on Safnello?" And I was like, "No." He said, "So you're a former rheumatologist, never had you do the shingles vaccine?" I said, "No." And he said, "So then when you got shingles, he never had you do the shingles vaccine?" I said, "Nope." And he said, "So then his remedy for that was to take you back off of Safnello and put you back on Benlysta and not make you get the shingles vaccine?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." And he's marking off these boxes like, "Okay, well, that's strike one, that's strike two. Um, I don't see why you did not stay on Safnello if it was working. I don't see why you did not get the shingles vaccine after the fact. So we need to work through what we need to do and come up with you a new treatment plan." So then he started asking me all these questions about, um, you know, blood work and different types of blood work that they ran on me, and I'm used to, because I work in clinical research. I'm used to a lot of the blood work that they run, and working in rheumatology clinical research. Um, the blood work that they run just for lupus alone. So I'm very familiar with, the complement levels and the double-stranded DNA and the anti-DS DNA and the RNP and the ANA, and I know all of that. But I was never familiar with like the CD16 and the CD19 and the CD20. Um, and so he asked me, he said, "Has anybody ever run a lymphocyte subset panel on you?" And I was like, "No." And he said, "So nobody has ever tried to see if your body has issues with producing auto antibodies and things like that?" And I told him no. He said, "Well, that's the first thing that we're going to see. We're going to see if you have issues with producing auto antibodies, or if your body has issues with fighting off infections." So so that's what he did. He ran a lymphocyte subset panel on me, and it came back. And because I've just been having a lot of different things go wrong with me, with my lupus. So like my organs have, you name it, I've been having different organ issues. My lungs haven't been functioning at 100%. My kidneys haven't been functioning at 100%. I'm having gastro issues. I'm And now I'm at the point where, like I said to you earlier, I'm just tired. I feel like I just can't do anything. I can't leave my house. I can't take a shower. I don't have no spoons at all. I wake up every day with nothing. Zero. Zilch.
Depleted.
I'm just completely depleted. So I don't know. I can't function. And so, or I can't function like I'm used to functioning. Usually, I'm used to being able to go, 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 and I can't. I can't even have a simple phone call. This conversation is going to take everything out of me for the rest of the day, and I'm not going to want to do anything. Um, so the results came back, and he called me in, and I just saw him on Monday. That's why it took so long for us to do this live, because I wanted the results to come back so I can talk about it um, professionally, not only professionally, but so I can talk about it with some knowledge. You know, I wanted to be able to give you guys the right information. So it came back, and my B cells are completely depleted. And I don't know if you guys know what the B cells and the T cells do when you have lupus, but the B cells and the T cells are overactive when you have lupus, so they fight each other, and they attack your body. So that's what throws you into flare, because it's attacking your body, it's attacking your organs and things like that. Well, I have no B cells. My B cells are completely gone. My body doesn't produce the B cell antibody. So when we have lupus, we already know that if we contract an infection, um, we have it for longer than the normal person. But now my body doesn't even produce the antibodies to fight the infection at all. So you I'm running the risk. So I now have two different autoimmune diseases. So I have lupus, and they go hand in hand, and I have what they call humoral autoimmune deficiency. So I'm even at more at risk for getting infections and having them last even longer.
Hmm.
So I have the hormonal immunodeficiency, and then I have the SLE, and they're fighting each other. And so now um, I have to have immunoglobulin therapy. So I have to have IVIG treatment in addition to whatever other treatments I have to have for the SLE.
Wow. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is because they don't want me to be around. Like I need to put myself in a bubble pretty much because
Mhm.
I don't know what I can get from standing next to somebody, because I can contract any type of infection at this point.
Oh wow. So 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 what is it that you can do? I mean, it's already um we already have to protect ourselves because of lupus, right? And then
Mhm.
you have this, so well,
So basically, he told me that I need to be just like I was when how we were when COVID was rampant,
okay.
real bad when it first came out, and we were gloved up, we were masked up, we were, we had the the spray, washing our hands constantly, and so we had the disinfectant on our purses, and we were Lysol and everything, and so that's where I am.
I
That's
was
what
going
I'll
to
be
ask you
doing.
what was the biggest change for you with this diagnosis, but just trying to get through the
Going back
days.
going back to how I was when COVID first hit, and I don't want to say I need to stay in the house, but I have to be very careful of what I do and where I go. But right now, the biggest change for me is I don't even have the energy to do anything, to be honest with you. So it's the biggest change is I can't do anything.
And me knowing you, I'm gonna say not glad, but it's a blessing in disguise, if you will. And I hate to say that because you probably do need to rest your body. And I hate to say that because it sounds like I'm saying I'm glad that you're sick, but that's definitely not the case. But sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes. But are you in any pain outside of the exhaustion and
I am actually in a bunch of pain. I'm in a bunch of pain right now. I feel like I need to. I just told my husband I felt like I probably need to check myself into the hospital. You ever watched a movie where you seen like the donkey or the horse and they kick backwards and they kick somebody and they just kick and kick and kick. I feel like like there is a horse just kicking me like in my left kidney.
mm,
Um, and it just hurts and I don't know if it is residual effects from because I still have residual effects from the shingles, the nerve effects.
okay.
So I don't know if it's that, but I last night I was urinating a little blood, so I don't know if it's my kidneys because I can see the protein floating in the toilet. So I don't know if it's my kidneys or if it I don't know what it is. I don't know what the pain is, but it hurts. It's like a 9 out of a 10. And I just don't know what to do. So I'm like, maybe I'm dehydrated. Maybe something's going on with my kidney. Maybe I do need to go to the hospital
Mhm.
just to get checked out. But it's been hard for me because we all know when we go to the hospital, the doctors don't necessarily know how to treat us. And so sometimes, depending on the hospital that we go to, when we get there, they treat us like we're drug seeking patients and we're only there for pain meds. And so they tend to be a little bit hard on us. And the last time I went, I had pneumonia for 3 weeks, and the doctor said, "Hey, I don't really think you have anything. But you did a chest x ray on me and you prescribed me medication to treat pneumonia, but you said everything was clear. Um, but you sent me home." So I am like a lot of people. I wait and wait and wait until the very last minute till I pass out on you, and then I have no choice but to go to the hospital.
Mhm.
But I have been in pain. Um, there has been some situations that have happened to me in life altering situations that have happened to me in the last since January. That maybe I won't say maybe, it's God's grace that this has happened. God has made it happen. And I have to look at it in a different scope. Um, that I have to look at it in a different scope. So in January, I lost my job after 16 months. And so I look at it now as maybe that was God's way of saying, hey, this is my way of helping you to um, to get some rest, because if not, I'm going to continue to work, and do everything else that I do outside of my regular 9 to 5 job, Colors Lupus Nevada, the sorority, everything else that I do, and I'm going to continue to push my body because I have to. But if I take this away, then you don't have to push yourself to go to a 9 to 5 job. And so I am trying to adapt to that, um, and do some some other things that it's not going to be like a regular 9 to 5 job, and I control it. But in that comes getting new insurance,
Okay.
right? So new insurance, which means new doctors, which means new authorizations, which means new referrals, which means so many different things that are stressful. And we know that the stress brings on more flares and makes you sicker and all of that. So um, in the last, you know, almost 2 months, I'm jumping through all these hoops, and it's just I know there's going to be an endpoint, and a positive endpoint. It's just trying to get there, because right now it's just so much at one point, at one time. And so going to these hospitals, and I've been hospitalized twice, since November, and have been to the ER an additional 2 times, 3 times. So, and then all the different doctors. It's just a lot at one time. So it's hard for me, because I'm this is something I'm not used to.
I love that you said that, how we think that in our way is the best way, but he has another plan for us. So we're going to try and look at all of that in a positive way and just say, this is, a new beginning for you, because he finds a way, she finds a way to make you listen. And so maybe that isn't the path for you, that race that you were running. Maybe there's something bigger ahead for you that allows you to, maneuver your lupus and other autoimmune diseases, more efficiently, but you still thriving and being the best version of yourself possible.
I think that's exactly what's going on right now, and I think that, it's just about me accepting it at this point. And it takes a little bit. At first, I was like, "Why me?" And why now? But it's not for me to question. It's for me to, think back and reflect, and make the best of what is going on right now, and trying to make the best of my health. I gotta focus on my health, and sometimes it's taking that step back, and looking. Like, I look at myself right now, and I don't look like myself. So I know, like, it. I can't take 10 steps without being without a breath, and I can't be outside, or I take off my hat, and all my hair is, my hair is falling out again, or I'm retaining water in my face, and retaining water in my stomach. And so I just, visibly, I don't look like myself. So I know that right now the goal is to get back to me. And in order for me to do so, I got to put me first. And in order for me to put me first, I have to put my health first. And so what does that look like? And
Mhm.
that was the purpose of this call. What does that look like? Okay, so my doctor fired me. Okay, that's fine. I was going to fire him anyway, because I realized that he is not modernized in his treatment. He's not modernized in his health care. And so I need a doctor that's going to look at the bigger picture. And I found that in Dr. Chatham. And he is absolutely wonderful. Um, and so I have to look at, what does that look like? Me putting me first, putting my health care first. That means going to my doctor's appointments. That means, firing doctors that aren't giving me what I need, that's going to better my health. Firing my doctors that aren't going to talk to each other. There is now a system in place. I think it's called Epic. So doctors have
Mhm.
the option to communicate to each other. So it's a system, a computer system, where they can literally talk to each other, and send each other notes, medical notes or records, so they can see what each other is doing, or what they're prescribing to me, or what their treatment plan is. So each one knows. If your doctors aren't using that, you need to make sure they're, at least as soon as as soon as they can, one doctor is writing a note to the other doctor, so they do know your treatment plan, so they do know, um, what the plan is moving forward, and they're talking to each other. If they're not talking to each other and not communicating with each other, then you need to make sure that they are. If they cannot do that, then you need to get doctors that do, because they need to know what they're prescribing, they need to know what the treatment plan is, and they need to be on the same page.
Let's go
And
into the. Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
you have to make that happen. You have to force that to happen.
Let's go into the chat. We got Sora Mastermind sending purple hearts and love. Cartisha says, what advice would you give to other lupus warriors that are in an active flare right now? Sit
So,
down
if you know anything about me,
if you can.
um, if you know anything about me, you know I'm a big hypocrite, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you to sit down somewhere, right? I will tell you to rest, relax, and take some time for yourself. But I will not do that. But I will tell you when you're in an active flare, make sure that you're writing down, you're journaling what you're feeling. Because if you're not if you don't have an upcoming doctor's appointment right now, but you're in an active flare, you want to make sure that you are, when you do go to your next doctor's appointment, you are communicating with your doctor what you feel or how you felt or what that flare was about, how long that flare lasted. Um, and if there was any new symptoms during that flare, because the first thing that Dr. Chatham asked me when I went in on Monday was like, have you experienced anything different? If you go to a doctor's appointment and you're by yourself, um, you can get somebody from your family, your husband, your mother, whoever, on the phone that they can be on the phone while you're in the doctor's office, so they can chime in on things that they may have saw that you might have forgotten. Um, just those type of things, because you want to remember everything that you have experienced. I also want you to know the difference between a flare and a bad day. Because people with lupus have a tendency to say, "Oh, I'm in flare," and realistically, they only were having a bad day. A flare is more than one day. You can have two bad days in a row, but if you've had, 3 or 4 bad days in a row, then 9 times out of 10 you're in a flare. But if you just had a bad day today and then tomorrow you had a good day, then you just had a bad day. But you got to know the difference between a bad day and a flare.
A lot of people get confused with that. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm so tired, or my body is flaring." Like, give it a few days because that's one of the normal, you
Yeah,
know.
let's see if you really are in a flare. Let's see how many symptoms you have. Let's see how many days it lasts, and then we can go from there. But you definitely want to journal and track how long it lasts, with how many symptoms you have. If there are any new symptoms, like I've been experiencing things that I've never experienced. I've never experienced night sweats ever until last week.
Mm.
And then I found out that is pretty common with people that have autoimmune illnesses that cause inflammation. And when I tell you I'm like sweating, I've never sweat like this. You would have thought that I went and ran a full basketball game.
Mm. That body going through changes too.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just going chaotic and haywire all at the same time.
You're absolutely right, Patricia. Rheumatologists consider flares, and it depends on which rheumatologist you go to. Most rheumatologists, they'll say 2 to 3 days with more than 2 to 3 symptoms, and you definitely have to journal it. But if you are just experiencing one day and you're just really really tired, that's just a bad day.
Demetria says, congratulations on advocating for yourself, sis. She
Um,
is definitely a true warrior that advocates not just for herself, but others. And she's very transparent, as you all can see.
you gotta be, if you won't advocate for yourself, who's gonna advocate for you? You got to. If you don't, then there's you got to be the first line of point of contact for yourself. And then if you don't want to advocate for anybody else, that's okay. But as long as you advocate for yourself and you are actively involved in your own healthcare and you know what to do, don't be afraid to push. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't
Mhm.
be afraid to say, what does that mean? Like when Dr. Chatham came in the room and said to me and my husband, your B cells are depleted, and humoral immunodeficiency, um, my first question was, well, what does that mean? Explain
Mm-hmm.
that to me. And so he did, and he went into great depths about it. When somebody says, okay, I'm going to prescribe this medication, but they don't give you a diagnosis, well, why are you giving me this medication, but I don't have a diagnosis?
Right.
I'm not going to take that medication if I don't have a diagnosis. I had a patient come to me before, and she was in the lupus study, and she said, well, the doctor prescribed me hydroxychloroquine, but he didn't say I had lupus. So why are you going to take that medicine?
Mm-hmm. They did my daughter like that.
And the same thing with me with the pneumonia. You told me my chest x-ray was clear, but you came back with antibiotics and some cough medicine
Mm-hmm.
and said I didn't have pneumonia. Well, why are you giving me pneumonia medication if I don't have pneumonia? So you just have to be, you have to not be afraid to ask questions, not be afraid to, push, not be afraid to fire your doctor, not be afraid to advocate for yourself, because if you don't do it, nobody else will.
Absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of the hormonal immunodeficiency, what type of therapy um, is used to treat that?
IVIG treatment. So immunoglobin, I can never pronounce it right. So I
Mm-hmm.
just the acronym. So it's IVIG treatment. It's depending on your weight, it's a 2 to 4 hour infusion. For me, it looks like I'm gonna have to take it once a month indefinitely
Okay.
until my body hopefully starts to replenish my B cells.
Okay.
And I want to jump back to also, it also means you need to push, um, when being actively involved in your own healthcare. That also goes to to asking for certain tests. If you feel like you are having issues like with your kidneys, and I told you it felt like somebody was punching me in my kidneys, and I saw protein in the toilet and all that. If you feel that you're having issues with, just like kidney functions, don't be afraid to ask your doctor to run different tests. Um, like say, hey, I need to pee in a cup. I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm having kidney issues, or I've already been told I have kidney issues. For me, I have stage 3 chronic kidney disease. So they don't know if it's brought on from my lupus, or they don't know if it's brought on from my hypertension. But and my numbers are always fluctuating up and down. 1 minute they're good, 1 minute they're bad. So
Mm-hmm.
don't be afraid to say, hey, I need to pee in a cup. You need to run my numbers so I can see if my stage 3 is turning into, definite lupus nephritis, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case may be. So you can see if you need to go on therapy for lupus nephritis, or if you need to be referred to a nephrologist. But
Mm-hmm.
you gotta not only make yourself get uncomfortable, but you have to make your doctor get uncomfortable and ask to be able to pee in a cup. Um,
Arena.
yep, Arrhenius, they'll tell you in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
We want you to pee in a cup. But don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask for different blood tests. Even for me, like I told you, I didn't know anything about the CD16, 19, 20. I didn't know about those tests. I didn't know about the lymphocyte subset panel. So if you're feeling like me, like you just don't have any energy, or you're feeling like they have not run those type of tests on you, other autoimmune tests on you, don't be afraid to ask your primary care physician or ask your rheumatologist to run those tests, because my other rheumatologist never ran those tests. I wouldn't even known to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Chatham said, hey, we need to run these tests. So don't be afraid to ask.
Definitely. Definitely. Let's see. We got some more comments in here. Let's see. Patricia says we are not lab rats for sure. Let's see. Hey, Danny.
Hey, Danny, it is. It's humoral immunodeficiency, Danny. And there is also an article that Dr. Chatham wrote. I can have Chandra drop it in the chat. Um, but him and two of his other colleagues from Alabama wrote it, and how they coexist together with SLE. But it was a very interesting read.
Okay, I definitely can do that. I definitely can do that. Let's see.
And we're not lab rats, but I will tell you guys this. So people are very, very, they are very skeptical about participating in clinical research trials, right? So, but I want you guys to think about clinical research trials like this. Um, so you go to the doctor and you are diagnosed with hypertension, right? And they give you, for let's say for instance, they give you lisinopril, and lisinopril typically does not work on darker skinned people. um, and so the doctor says, "Hey, I want you to try lisinopril for 3 months. Come back. We'll see if it works. I want you to track your blood pressure for 3 months and come back." So you come back in 3 months. Your blood pressure is still running high. The lisinopril doesn't work. So the doctor comes in and says, "Okay, well that didn't work. We're going to try you on, um, might not be the right combination, but I'm just giving you an example. Hydrochlorothiazide. Um, I want you to track that for 3 months and come back. We'll see if that works." And you come back in 3 months. 3 months that doesn't work, and he gives you something else. And the third drug works, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have just tried 2 to 3 other drugs. What did you participate in,
A clinical trial.
right?
In so many words. Uh-huh.
In so many words, you participated in a clinical trial. So I want you guys to, we're not lab rats, no, but we do participate in clinical trials in so many different ways, because we try different drugs to see what works, what is going to work for us. And a lot of people don't even look at things like that either. They don't look at the fact that we try different drugs before we find the combination that works
Mm-hmm.
for us. Because what may work for, and I tell people this all the time, my lupus is not Chandra's lupus. Chandra's lupus is not Patricia's lupus. Patricia's lupus is not Cartesia's lupus. We all have different things that work, and we have different symptoms. And so what works for one may not work for another. Some people take turmeric to help with their inflammation. But I can't take turmeric because I'm allergic. Some people take sea moss to help, and I'm willing to try whatever. But what works for one may not work for the other. So just keep that in mind when you are trying different things, because everybody's lupus is different.
Do we have any more questions? Madam President, is there anything else that you want to tell us about what's been going on? I know it kills you that you can't be as active as you used to, being in the midst of everything. But know that the sorority is praying for you. And
It does kill me, but I tell you what makes it a little bit easier is knowing that I have the best sorority sisters in the world, because it was a time where everything fell on my shoulders and VP's shoulders, and some of the other founders' shoulders, because we didn't have a lot of active members at the time, and now we're over 50 strong, around the United
woo-hoo.
States. And which is funny because me and Danny have this thing going on. So Danny is on here, and Danny is my Arinia rep on the West Coast. And so Arinia helps us with a lot of they support a lot of our programming and a lot of the stuff that we do for Colors of Lupus Nevada and for Gamma Pi Rho Lupus Sorority Incorporated. And so I told Danny, Danny always gets the membership numbers mixed up, Chandra. So the membership numbers for Colors of Lupus is in the hundreds, where the membership numbers for Gamma Pi Rho around the United States is over 50. But that's great because it's around the United States.
Absolutely.
Um, but we are strong, and the
We are strong. We are national in over what 19 different states, I believe. We can't hear you, Madam President. And we have a class that just finished. So shout out to the three swords that came into Gamma Land. And we also are accepting applications because we'll be starting our spring rush. Our chancellors are waiting for you guys to come on, and we'll have a kickback actually on tomorrow. We will have a kickback, and this will be for sword young ladies, women with lupus who are interested in becoming a SOAR. So join us. There's a flyer circulating. We can put the information also on our Facebook page, but we have a kickback tomorrow, and that is going to be for women who are interested in joining the glamorous women of Gamma Pi Rho Lupus Sorority Incorporated. So our chancellors will be waiting for you. And we are also expecting our SOARs to join in so that everyone can see what a remarkable sorority that this is. Yes, unfortunately, it seems as if we're having tech. There she is. There's the woman of the hour. We can't hear you. I see you, but I can't hear you. Oh, okay. It seems like we're having technical difficulties. Let's see, we got a couple comments. I'll read those until she comes back on. Yes, thanks, Danny from Arenia. As she said, he is part of her region. And then let me give a shout out to the fabulous Quinn Cousin. And she is the representative for the Georgia, well, not just the Georgia, but for the Georgia area. There she is. Yes, I like yeah, she's back. She's back. She's back. So yes, Arenia is a huge supporter of Gamma Pi Rho. So we are grateful for them. So grateful for them for the support that they give us and all the opportunities that they allow us to have. So, and thank you for joining us again, Danny. I know Quinn wish she could be here, but she can't. She's all right. Let's see. Danny says. Yes, welcome. Love partnering with Autumn and Gamma. Glad to be of service to the lupus community. Absolutely. You guys
He is
are
my
huge
friend.
success. Yes, yes,
But
yes.
I was saying it's hard because like even for me, it was like Danny was here and I couldn't go see him yesterday because I wasn't feeling my best.
Mhm.
So it limits my this is limiting my ability to get out there and do the things that I want to do. But I need to be my best in May. So thank God
What's
for
happening
technology.
in May? What you got going on in
What
May?
I got a lot of things going on in May. What do I not have going on?
We need you to get better. Focus
Yeah,
on
so
May.
we know like May is Lupus Awareness Month, so we got a bunch of different activities between the two organizations. So we want to
Yes.
make sure that I am up for that. Hopefully, I'll be on IVIG therapy by then. So hopefully, I'll have a little bit more energy. So thank God for technology, and we can do these things. We can do things um, via Zoom, via a StreamYard, via
Mhm.
Microsoft Teams, those things via just regular FaceTime. So I can our regular telephone so I can talk to you guys. That's the hardest thing is being able to just be active. But I will take advantage of situations like this all the time.
Yes, May is a huge, huge month for us. We'll also be doing a few things here in Georgia. We will be having our third annual Mother's Day Lupus Awareness Tea, and it will be in Atlanta on May 4th. So we invite all women with lupus, all women without lupus, mothers, sisters, cousins, all ladies to join us. It's going to be a fabulous event. We have a plethora of guest speakers. We have some wonderful surprises. We also have some gift baskets that we're giving away in the raffles. We got a lot of support in the community. So if you're able to join us in Atlanta, Georgia on May 4th, we would love to have you share this experience. First time in person, Georgia is in Atlanta. Gamma Pyro is in Atlanta. So we hope you can join us for that. We also have stores that are having huge events. We have Paula, she's having her sneaker ball this month in Arizona. When I tell you Gamma Pyro is national, our stores are out there advocating and just making so many footprints in this world for advocacy for lupus, lupus nephritis, all autoimmune diseases, because at the end of the day we are all one. We also have Patricia, who she's having her annual the
Purple
purple
ball.
ball. Yes, and that's going to be in April. I want to say April 4th, I believe. I'm sure she'll let me know. Oh yeah, we have the thank you. We have the summit that we will be participating in Washington D.C. So congrats to some of our lupus advocates of Lupus Foundation of America who will be attending. Congratulations.
We have stores that are attending and that will be speaking, and so we are doing some great things, not just on our local levels, not just with our local organizations, but nationally. It's a wonderful thing because uh, we have we are women that have never met each other up until we met each other because of lupus, and now we are sisters. We have a sisterly bond. Um, we You would think that we have known each other for years on end. Patricia and I are from the same neck of the woods, so we have some of the same interests. And yesterday she checked on me, and this is what I mean about the sisterly bond, and this is what I mean about just loving each other and really taking pride in this and being an advocate for this disease. Patricia texted me and said, I'm just checking on you. I just want to make sure you're okay. And if I need to hop on a plane,
Mm-hmm.
I will be in Las Vegas in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
And that meant more to me than anything that you guys could imagine. And Paula is 5 hours away from me, and I couldn't travel. My cousin passed away unexpectedly, and I couldn't travel. And Paula, my cousin's funeral was in Arizona, and Paula's like, "What do you need me to do?" And I was like, "Yeah, whatever you can do." And she attended a funeral of a complete stranger that she didn't know because I could not attend, and that meant everything to me.
Mm-hmm.
These ladies, these over 50 ladies, that are spread out around the United States that I get to see once or twice a year, mean the absolute world to me. And it's not about how many people we have in this organization, it's
Yeah.
about the quality of people that we have in this organization, the work that they do for lupus awareness, the patient advocacy that they do. And I don't try, I want them to do patient advocacy work. So it's not just about being involved in Gamma, it's about being involved in other organizations. I have Colors of Lupus Nevada. They're involved in Lupus Foundation of America, in different chapters around the United States. And or they have their own nonprofit organizations. It's about empowering them to be advocates and be the patient voice, and be involved with different drug companies like Aurinia, and spread the word about being getting uncomfortable and peeing in a cup, and being your own advocate, and being involved in your own healthcare. That's what matters. And if you I'm not saying you have to be rah 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 all the time, and you have to be as transparent as I am, but you
Right.
definitely have to be your own advocate, and you have to, you
Have a
know, be involved in your own healthcare, because if, like I said, if you don't do it for yourself, who else is going to do it?
right. And we are strong. We are strong. We are almost at 60, almost. But
Almost.
yeah, and we have this class that just came through. Like I said earlier, we have a spring rush that'll be happening. So make sure you guys log on tomorrow in support of the chancellor's and education department kickback. So that's going to be exciting. We also have a special guest coming to our platform tomorrow, Mr. Emmett Henderson
I
the
hope so.
third.
I saw that he, did you see that he had to go to the ER? So
Yes.
hopefully he's still able to host his educational session tomorrow. We will also be doing, because March is World Kidney
Mm-hmm.
Month. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us suffer from lupus nephritis or chronic kidney disease. So we will be doing a show. It was supposed to be tomorrow, but I'm glad it's not because Emmett is on. But Colors of Lupus will be doing their radio show sometime by the end of the month. And we'll be talking about lupus nephritis, and we'll be talking more about peeing in a cup, um, and getting uncomfortable, and the importance of just being on top of your kidney health.
Yes. Yes. I spoke with Emmett and I told him the same thing I told you. Uh-uh. Not on my watch. But he said, just like you, no worries,
You
sis.
know,
We
I'm
will
the
do this tomorrow. So
I'm the female version. He the male version.
uh-huh.
It's
Uh-huh.
hard. It's hard when we both are working together, and we work together in so many different organizations. And like I said, I'm the female version. He's the male version, and we're just very hard headed, stubborn people. At least the first step to that though is admittance.
Mhm.
And at least though we will admit that we're very hard headed, very stubborn, and what we say, we'll tell you what to do, but we won't follow in our own footsteps. Well, we will not follow in our own advice.
And that's what make you all unique because you guys have changed the world in so many ways, and you all both are definitely examples for us to follow and learn from, and hope one day to be able to navigate this world as you all do. You all are very inspiring, very very inspiring, because there's a lot of times when lupus warriors, even the ones who have dealt with this disease for years, feel like, oh, I can't do it, but then we see you all and you're really, really going through it and you're still pushing through. And it's like, okay, I can do this, I do need to do this, so yeah, listen to your body, but then, do know that you guys, I know, we all get on you about doing too much and, slow down and everything, but you wouldn't be you, you know, and you guys
Yeah,
are a great
but
example.
let me just say, y'all get on me about doing too much and not being me, but then y'all turn around and ask me these exact questions. So it's okay though. It still makes me feel like I'm wanted and I'm needed. So I appreciate that.
You are definitely wanted and you are always needed. Please know that. Please know that. And that's from each and every soror in the sorority. Please know that. Patricia said, leaders lead. We got a lot of comments in here. It's a sisterhood for me. That's St. Louis. We about that life.
We sure are.
We got some serious warriors here. But we want to thank you for coming on. We know it took a lot out of you, but we are thankful and thank you for sharing your story. This, of course, is streaming live. We will attach it to our other platforms that it didn't quite make it to. On behalf of Gamma Pi Rho, Miss Executive Director of Colors of Lupus Nevada, we wish you all the best of luck in all of your endeavors, and whatever we can do to collaborate with you all, we'd be glad to.
Right? Just a little bit. You want to collaborate? I, I
Absolutely.
I thank you for doing this for me, Chandra.
Mhm.
I love the fact that whatever crazy idea I have at 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, your time, that you guys, I got a crazy idea me and Patricia got going right now that we still got to meet about. But the thing is whatever crazy ideas I have, I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for helping me get those crazy ideas to be coming to the limelight, to get it to fruition, because I couldn't do what I do without any of you guys. So I appreciate that very, very, very much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you guys all stepping up and stepping in my absence. it takes they say it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a village to make any organization go. And even with Danny, I don't know if Danny's still on here, but I want to thank Arinia because me and Danny laugh and joke all the time in our meetings. We had a meeting yesterday, and I came up with an idea for Gamma to do something on the West Coast, and he's like, "Well, we've been trying to do that, Autumn." And I said, "Well, I'm gonna figure it out.
All right.
I'm
Let's
gonna
make it
figure it out."
happen.
So I'm going to figure it out, and it's going to take some help from some other sources. I'm pretty sure, even though they're not on the West Coast, but I'm going to figure out how to do this so we can do it in multiple cities.
What did you
Because
say?
we're gonna get it done.
Whatever your heart desires, as long as we don't have to go to jail, your swords are behind you 100%.
Right,
I don't know,
right.
Patricia might want to go,
Now,
but we will make it happen.
me and Patricia from the Loop, we may want to go to jail. No,
Right. But
but but
yes, every city.
I just thank you guys so much because you guys make all of this worth doing. Make it fun doing. We do exhaust ourselves in some of the things that we do, but it's all well worth it. And you make the fight worth fighting.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, we all, like I said, are praying for you from every city, from up north. We got Wisconsin, Missouri. We got Chicago. We even got some more people from Illinois. So North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida. Arizona, well, of course,
We
Vegas. We
Yeah,
we we
we
we
are well
out there.
represented, and
Yeah,
we're just gonna become bigger and bigger. And it doesn't matter. It could be one person pledging, at a time each line. It could be 25 people. It's about the quality over the quantity and the work that we do. And we're going to continue to do the work, and we're just going to continue to grow our programming and continue to do our outreach, and it's just going to get bigger and better from here.
absolutely, absolutely. And a shout out to all of our founders. So thank you guys for all the hard work that you've done and the example that you showed us how to get it done. So, we are grateful for that. Trust me, everybody is watching every move that you all make so that we know how to continue to make sure that everything runs just as wonderfully as it has always run. So, know that we are watching you guys as you lead. So thank you for that. But we won't keep you guys. Is there anything else you want to add before we let you go, get you some rest?
No,
Actually, rest.
I think that's it. Again, for those that are I will say this, because the ones that live in Las Vegas that have been waiting for to find out who my doctor is, who my new rheumatologist is. My new rheumatologist is Dr. Wynn Chatham. He is out of UNLV School of Medicine. Um, Off of Charleston Boulevard. I don't have the telephone number right now, but you can definitely Google him. He is Dr. Wynn Chatham out of UNLV School of Medicine. He is an awesome doctor. So if you have been waiting to find out who my new rheumatologist is, that is his name. He is starting to see more and more patients, so his wait list is starting to become longer. He does take a bunch of different insurances, including Nevada Medicaid, HPN Medicaid, all the Medicaids, they told me on Monday. So if you have Medicaid, he does take that. Um, Very thorough. He will perform different tests on you that most rheumatologists may not perform on you because he's considered a lupologist. He is out of Alabama, so he does have different articles that he has written, and he, like I said, he is very thorough. He There has been some patients I have been told. That's how you spell it,
Okay.
Chandra.
Okay.
UNLV School of Medicine. And so there has been some patients, what I have been told, that he have been misdiagnosed with lupus and have been referred to him, and he's been able to get them diagnosed with the right illness and treat them with the right thing, and then make sure that they have continued care. But he wants to work with Colors of Lupus more and more, so we can make sure that everybody is participating in the right programs and things like that, and getting the right support. So if you need him or need a different, if a different rheumatologist, I have access to other rheumatologists as well I can refer you to. So we will be doing other support group meetings and other activities for the rest of the year. So be looking out for that on Colors of Lupus's website, as well as on our social media pages.
Sounds good. Sounds good. We got some more people in the chat. Just want to say hi.
Hey, Emmett, he is here. The man,
Mhm.
the myth, the legend, Mr.
Yes, yes,
Henderson the third. And
yes.
Yeah, I have someone on here. She's a really good friend of mine, Chandra. Her name is Deidre Stewart. She said Dr. Chatham is amazing. Yes, he is. I hope he is helping you get on the path and road to recovery, because she has been just as ill and sick as me. Her son is like Jason, and he plays basketball, so she likes to travel and follow her son. But one day we're gonna get her in the sorority too. But yeah,
Okay.
uh, he is amazing. So if you guys can get into him, please, by all means, try to get into Dr. Chatham.
Okay, well, make sure that you all have that information. You got to make sure that you follow us on social media so you can get all the deets about what's going on in the sorority, what's going on in the world, and just all the great things that is happening. So we will let you go and rest, Madam President.
All right, you guys have a great weekend. And like I said, I love you guys. Follow Colors of Lupus Nevada on all the social media outlets, as well as follow Gamma Pi Rho Lupus Sorority Incorporated.
Incorporated.
You guys have a wonderful weekend.
All right. Thank you guys for logging on today. Until next time. Actually, next time we'll catch you tomorrow for Emma Henderson III's webinar with Gamma Pi Rho, and also the kickback for incoming women who wants to join this lovely organization. Have a great day. Have an absolute best Friday, and
Wonderful weekend.
yes, take care, everyone. Thanks for logging on
Bye.
and supporting us. Bye.